know what we got to sing.
Uh-huh.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. We're going to have a story about owl today. Let's go hoo-hoo, okay?
Okay.
If you're happy and you know it, say hoo-hoo.
Woo woo.
If you're happy and you know it, say hoo-hoo.
Woo woo. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, say woo woo.
Now put your finger way up there in the air. Put your finger way up there in the air. Put your finger in the air and shake it right up there with your finger right up there in the air. Put your finger on your nose, on your nose. Put your finger on your toes, on your toes. Put your finger on your nose and then touch your toes and then put your finger on your nose. Woo-hoo! Well, you notice everywhere you look, pumpkins are everywhere.
They're everywhere.
They
I
are.
like pumpkins.
I like them too, big on. And you know, I've seen some, I even saw a purple one, somebody painted one purple.
Oh,
A
how
purple pumpkin.
pretty.
And some of them were green, some of them were white. I especially like the orange pumpkins.
I do too.
Seemed like I used to know a song about 1 little, 2 little, 3 little. Let's sing about the pumpkins.
Okay.
You ready? Let's go. Get your fingers ready.
All
Here we
right,
go.
ready?
1 little, 2 little, 3 little pumpkins, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little pumpkins, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little pumpkins, 10 little pumpkins
in the pumpkin
in a growing race. And let's see in the
Are
growing
they in a
patch.
row or in a patch?
Well, I don't know. Somebody might have picked them. Let's play like they're at at the grocery store.
Okay,
Okay,
so
let's
10
go.
little pumpkins in
In
the
a row.
groceries.
Okay,
Oh, in a row.
Okay, here we go. Let's do it again. Y'all get ready. We're gonna
Get
do it
ready.
again. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little pumpkins, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little pumpkins, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little pumpkins, 10 little pumpkins in a row. Now somebody came along, see, and they accidentally bumped them, and so that started rolling. Okay, here we go now. They rolled and they rolled and they rolled down the hill, smack, rolled and they rolled and they rolled down the hill, smack, rolled and they rolled and they rolled down the hill, smack. No more pumpkins in a row.
Oh.
And I was gonna buy one. Oh, well, we got a story about an owl. I like owls.
You like owls?
Yeah, they come out at night and they hunt things. And let's see, what is that called? A wise old owl with a pointed nose, 2 round eyes, and claws for his toes. Sits in a tree and he says, ooh, 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 you better watch out, 'cause I'm watching you. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Have you ever seen a real owl? I have, and they're big.
Hey, Miss Laura, you live way out there in the country. You get to see all kind of good stuff.
I do.
We have lots of good stuff in town, but I think you see more good stuff like animals and things out in the country.
In the country.
What is some of the things? Sometimes you see an owl. One time you told me you saw a raccoon. Did you see a
I've
raccoon?
seen raccoons.
And you see deer.
We see
See
deer and turkey.
Turkey.
And just about
Just
everything.
about if you ever see a possum.
I see
See
possum and armadillo
Uh-huh.
and coyotes.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yes.
That's
We
kind-
hear
you ever hear
those.
them at night?
Oh, I
That's kinda
love
scary.
it. Oh,
You like
we
to hear
sit
it.
on our
Oh,
back
oh.
porch and listen to them howl.
Well, see, in town you sit out and you go, you hear beep beep, burn, burn, burn. Yeah, you hear different noises, but that's fun in the country. I think it's wonderful. Well, we're gonna have a story about a little bitty owl. We're gonna put John the music box right down there. Now everybody get ready, okay? Y'all wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes and wiggle your shoulders and wiggle your nose. Now no more wiggles are left, you see, and you can sit still and listen to me. And you know the best stories, Miss Laura, always start with once upon a time. Once upon a time, in a great big city, there was a lovely little park. We have a lot of parks here where I live in Macomb, and in a lot of towns we have parks where kids go play and people can go sit and rest and enjoy the day. Now, in this park, there was a great big statue to a brave soldier. Now, in the statue, I'm going to show you this. No one knew it, but there was a hole back in the back of it because it was an old statue and it was hollow. And in the hole was where a little owl lived. See, and he stayed there all through the day, and he watched the children playing, and the mothers and daddies and grandmas and grandpas coming and going, and he watched. He slept in the darkness inside that statue. But at night then, he came out, and he flew around, and he lit up in a big tree after he had flown all around the neighborhood. And across the street from the park, there was a great big apartment house where people lived. And there was a little boy who lived in the apartment house way up on the top floor. He had 5 floors, y'all count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His name was David, and he lived with his mama and his daddy. And sometimes the little owl would fly around at night, and David would see him, and he'd say, Mama, it's an owl, come on, look at him. His mama come in, and she'd say, shh, don't scare him. The little owl would fly all around. And one night he even lit on the concrete window frame, and David looked at him, and he said, oh, little owl, Mama, ain't he cute? I wish I could pet him. His mama said, well, I think he'd be afraid if you tried to pet him, but I think he's kind of watching over our neighborhood because he comes out and he stays all night long while we're sleeping. And we'll say he watches over us and keeps us safe. David just loved that little owl. The little owl would go, ooh, 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 ooh. Now, one night, after it got very quiet and all the people had gone to bed, everything around the park and in the neighborhood was very quiet. The little owl came out and he flew all around, and the little owl didn't know what it was, but something was wrong. Something was worrying him. It was just not quite right. The air was funny, and the little owl couldn't breathe real good. And then the little owl began to see light all around. And he flew over, and he knew that something wasn't right in the big apartment house where the little boy named David, his friend, lived. And sure enough, up on top of the apartment house, flames were coming out. There was a fire. Now the little owl flew over to the window, and he tapped, tap, 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 tap on the window, and he went, hoo-hoo, 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 hoo-hoo. David was sound asleep, but the little owl flapped his wings, and he tapped, tap, tap, and he said again, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo. And David waked up, and when he did, he could see the reflection of flames, and he could smell smoke. And David got up, and he hollered, Mama, Daddy, Mama, Daddy, something's on fire, Mama, Daddy. And his daddy came running in, and his mama came running in. His daddy said, well, yes, goodness gracious, we must tell everyone. And he ran out in the hall, and he ran up and down and shouted, out of the building, everyone, out of the building, there's a fire. And all of the people threw on their jammy house coats and their bedroom slippers, and they went running. Y'all help us run down the stairs. They went, and they hollered, fire, everybody, fire, fire, fire. Well, they said, call 911. Come on, let's go. Woo, dog, dog, dog. And the fire truck came. And the firemen came in. They got their great big hoses, and they shot water, shoot water, shh, all over the fire. And pretty soon, the flames died down, and the fire went out. And David's father said, thank goodness David, thank you. So David said, it wasn't me, Daddy. The little owl came and told me. He pecked on the window and he kept saying, hoo, till I waked up. And Daddy said, well, that little owl was certainly doing his job. He was taking care of us. The fire really wasn't really bad. It was just in the air conditioning unit up on top of the building, but it could have been very bad if that little owl hadn't waked you up and you hadn't waked me and your mama up. And all the neighbors were so grateful, and from then on, they were all very, very great admirers of the little owl. And they said, that little owl is a hero, and the little owl hid all day long inside the hollow statue. But at night, he came out, and he flew all around and said, ooh, 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 ooh. And he always flew by David's window and gave a peck, 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 peck. And David said, thank you, little owl, for taking care of all of us. I just think that's the best little story.
That is. I bet they put bird seed out on that window ledge and all kinds of stuff for that
I know,
owl.
you know, I never have known what owls ate. Do you live out
They
in the
do
country.
eat mice
I don't know whether
and
Scooter-
lizards.
I don't know whether Scooter Mouse won't hear that
Crickets,
or
and
not.
they probably do eat a little bit of bird seed and stuff every now and then, but it's mostly
Snakes and lizards.
right
Not mice.
and mice. I found an owl pellet one time.
Did you?
I did.
Oh,
You know what an owl pellet is?
no.
It's their poop.
For goodness sakes.
But it comes and it's like a solid thing that looks like straw or something wrapped around it. And when you open it up, you can see what the owl has been eating. And when I was homeschooling our kids, you can also order an owl pellet from somewhere and get you a little knife or a scalpel and open it up. It's kind of hard to open up and cut through. And open it up and see what they've been eating. There have been some that you will find mice skeleton in.
Mm-hmm.
You will find leftover crickets and lizards and things like that. It's really interesting.
I'm making bad faces when you say mine. Because Scooter Mouse is my good friend.
And Scooter Mouse had a friend with us
Did he?
over here at the library.
Well,
Remember?
you know, I remember that, and I don't think it was.
But I think he came because the hurricane was coming, because
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him since.
Well, he just came to get in out of the rain.
That's right.
Well, we gotta go. Let me get John here. John, come on up here and let's sing goodbye, goodbye. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. Goodbye, goodbye, we're glad you came today. Goodbye, goodbye, we're glad you came to play.
Bye.
Bye.
And go find you an owl pellet.